In the 10th and 11th centuries, political and climatic challenges struck the steppes of Central Asia, stirring the movement of tribes of Turkic peoples. They were nomadic, economically based on horses and other livestock, and excellent mounted archers. Many came into the Middle East. The process was threefold: conversion to Sunni Islam, migration, and political takeover. In 1055, the Seljuks, a Sunni Turkic family, took control of Baghdad and removed the Shia Buyids. They assumed the title of Sultan, which will remain central in the Middle East for centuries to come. The great Seljuks ruled over a wide empire, but similar to the Buyids, they did not depose the Abbasid Caliph, but controlled him. In fact, the Seljuks defended the Abbasids against the Shia Fatimid threat and became the agents of a Sunni flowering. This indicates the symbolic centrality of the Abbasid Caliph and his role as an exclusive source of legitimacy in the Sunni Muslim world. In 1071, at the Battle of Manzikert, the Seljuk Sultan defeated the Byzantine Emperor. Anatolia was opened to the Turkic tribes. In the following centuries, Greek Christian Anatolia was transformed into a Turkic Muslim land. The most prominent political power of the region was the Sultanate of Rum, a Seljuk branch. The bedrock of modern Turkey was formed. In 1095, while the Islamic Middle East was politically divided, the Crusades were launched under the direction of the Catholic Church. Their declared goal: liberating holy places from the hands of Muslim infidels. European forces occupied Jerusalem and established several states on the shores of the Mediterranean Sea. Crusader presence in the Middle East lasted for 200 years. During this period, Muslims tended to see their new neighbors as representatives of an unadvanced civilization, with a culture inferior to their own. In the 12th century, Saladin, a member of a Sunni Kurdish family, rose to prominence. He was a charismatic leader who eliminated the Shia Fatimid rule and founded the Ayyubid dynasty that ruled Egypt and Syria. Saladin fought the Crusaders, defeated them in the Battle of Hattin in 1187, and freed Jerusalem from Christian hands. The blow to the Crusaders was severe, but not decisive in the long term. They would survive for another 100 years. Meanwhile, the Seljuk state collapsed, allowing the formation of a new regional power, the Turkic Khwarezmian Empire. Formerly a vassal of the Seljuks, the Khwarezmian state controlled Iran and part of Central Asia. The 13th century marks a watershed in Islamic and world history. Far away in the steppes north of China, Chinggis Khan was proclaimed ruler of all Mongols, a group of nomadic tribes with a shamanic religion, legendary as mounted archers like the Turks to their west. Within a few decades, under Chinggis Khan and his descendants, the Mongol Empire expanded to become the largest contiguous land empire in human history. It was seen as invincible and merciless. In an ill-advised move, the Muslim rulers of the Khwarezmian Empire executed Mongol merchants. The ensuing bloodbath brought the end of the empire. By the mid-13th century, the Mongols ruled Iran, the Caucasus, and most of Anatolia. The Mongol ruler Hulagu Khan, Chinggis Khan's grandson, demanded that the Abbasid Caliph surrender. The Caliph refused to submit to the non-Muslim hordes. In 1258, Hulagu besieged Baghdad, razed it to the ground, and massacred its inhabitants. The great library of the city, known as the House of Wisdom, was no more, marking the end of the Islamic Golden Age. The Abbasid Caliph was rolled in a carpet and trampled by horses. 500 years of Abbasid leadership had come to an end. Hulagu turned to Egypt. There, the Ayyubid dynasty of Saladin was overthrown and replaced by a new power, the Mamluk Sultanate. The Mamluks were Turkic slave soldiers who were brought from the steppes, converted to Islam, and served as an important military force for Muslim rulers beginning in the 9th century. In 13th century Ayyubid Egypt, this elite warrior class gained political power, and slaves became masters. In 1260, at the Battle of Ain Jalut, the Mamluks defeated the Mongols, unprecedentedly halting their advance. The Mamluk Sultan Baybars, who played an important role in repelling the Mongols, also managed to crush the Crusaders, paving the way for their final collapse. This double victory earned the Mamluks the image of the defenders of Islam. It was further strengthened as Baybars re-established the Abbasid Caliphate in Cairo, though it played a marginal role. The Mamluks continued to rule for 250 years. By the end of the 13th century, the Mongol Empire splintered into local Mongol dynasties, led by the descendants of Chinggis Khan. Some of these dynasties, as well as many of the elites, converted to Islam and adopted Turkic dialects. This was the case with the Ilkhanid dynasty, descendants of Hulagu, who ruled from Anatolia to Iran. The Ilkhanids proved that the Mongols were not only brutal conquerors, but agents of economic, cultural, and intellectual prosperity. The Ilkhanate collapsed in the 14th century and was replaced by an empire created by the cruel Turco-Mongol conqueror Timur. The Timurids proved yet again that brutality and cultural flourishing are not mutually exclusive. The empire survived in some form until the end of the 15th century. At the same time, a new power grew in the West. Around 1300, a man named Osman emerged as the leader of a small Turkic Muslim principality in Anatolia. Osman and his descendants fought the Byzantine Empire and conquered territories in Anatolia and the Balkans, creating the Ottoman Empire. In 1453, it conquered Constantinople in a move that ended 1,000 years of Byzantine rule and is sometimes considered to mark the end of the Middle Ages. Constantinople, later Istanbul, became the new Turkish capital. The Ottoman Sultan Selim the Grim tripled the size of the empire, making use of newly invented gunpowder technologies. In 1517, he captured Cairo and executed the last Mamluk Sultan. Terminating the Abbasid Caliphate of Cairo, Selim declared himself Caliph, the new leader of Sunni Islam. The Ottoman Empire spread over vast territories in the Middle East, North Africa, and southeastern Europe. In the 16th century, two empires formed to its east: the Shia Safavid Empire, which is considered the foundation of modern Iran, and the Mughal Empire that ruled India. These three Islamic powers, known as the Gunpowder Empires, were strong and stable in the early modern period. The Ottoman Empire, the last caliphate in the history of Islam, survived for 600 years and fell only in the 20th century, following the First World War.